I'm at the point now that I'm going to go ahead and put in these fuel injectors. So these are the Bosch 3 fuel injectors. So they fit exactly like the old ones. The only difference is they're just a little bit thinner. What I like to do is I like to put a little tiny bit of oil on these O-rings, so that way they'll slide right in. It's really easy, especially since these are not new O-rings. You can, if you want, replace the O-rings, but I mean they fit really easy. What I like to do is I like to put them all in the base first of the intake, and they pop in there. Pretty easy fit. And then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and push this fuel rail down on top of all of the injectors. Now it's really easy to pinch off the injectors and mess up an O-ring when you do that. So you just want to make sure that you have all 8 lined up where they're supposed to go. Yep, these just fit right in there and they fit awesome. The other thing with these injectors, you don't need these little retainer clips on these old Multecs. You won't need them with these. Once you have your 4 bolts on your fuel rail bolted down and all your injectors in their little pockets, you want to make sure that they're all seated. So the best way I've been told is, since there's no clips, what you can do is just look and see if you can see any O-ring. They're not all the way up in. So as you can see on these ones, they're all in. Another thing you for sure want to do is these fuel lines, the main and return line. I already replaced these O-rings, but I guarantee you the ones that are on your car when you do this job will need replaced. So replace those so you don't have a big fuel leak and then you burn your car down. You don't want to do that. So once you do that, you're going to go ahead and plug these 2 lines back in, and then you're going to turn your key to on in order to get the fuel pressure up to check if you have any leaks. You want to make sure you have no leaks before you go ahead and put everything back together. It'd be silly to have to take everything apart again. Alright, I got all the fuel lines hooked up and the injectors in. So all I'm going to do is just take the key, and that should prime the fuel pump. So once, twice, so now let's go ahead and see if we have any leaks. So if you look for leaks down there, and look for leaks around all of the injectors. And this one also has a 9th injector port, so I don't see any leaks. Now once you've looked and you've seen that you don't have any leaks, the best thing to do is to take this little cap off of this fuel pressure valve right here. Basically it's like a tire stem, it's like a Schrader valve. You just push on here. Oh, see the gas come out? That means we know we have good fuel pressure, which means we know we don't have any other leaks, which means we can finally put it all back together. It is now time to remove these awful, ugly, crappy, junkyard sun visors. So, easiest way to do it is you need to take your target top off. You take this little cover panel off right here, and then this is how your sun visors are held in. So there's this clip, there's a retainer, and then there's a spring. So on the C3s, the spring's a little bigger, this one's a little smaller, so it's not too bad of a job. Let me go ahead and show you the other side where I've already got it loose. So here's the other side. As you can see, here's the spring, so that goes in like that. That retainer goes on, and the smaller piece goes on top of that. So the interesting thing is,
I don't think this guy bothered to swap out the arms. I think he just slid the arms onto these crappy sun visors. And in the process of being an idiot, not knowing how to get the sun visors off, he broke that piece. So I have another one of those, and we're gonna go ahead and put it in. So here's the power for the mirror. Alright, the next step is to take these screws out. So there's one here, one there. There's one behind the rearview mirror right here, and then there's just a couple. So it's a real easy fix to get the this header panel out. Sadly, I can't sell any of the pieces I'm removing because they're just trash. Alright everybody, and here is the finished product. So I finished putting the new carpet in, and I'll tell you what, it looks awesome. Another cool thing is I was able to get another steering wheel that was in a little better shape. Also, I finished painting up the center console pieces. I was able to use all the ones that I had. My favorite thing is the center one though. I was able to reuse that one, fill in some of the problems with it, fix the cracks. And you know, it doesn't look perfect, but guess what? The whole car is not perfect, so it's okay. The problem is they don't reproduce these, so they're kind of hard to find. I wasn't able to fix the clunky shifter, but I'm actually getting used to driving it like that, so it's all good. So here's the back carpet, and if you remember, it looks much better than it used to. Another thing I want to show you guys is these visors. I'm going to eventually put them in. I ended up basically fixing them. They're from a later Corvette, but I think they're all the same. The reason why they used to have airbag stickers here, but I took those airbag stickers off. I ended up running a piece of thick wire around here so that this doesn't flop. And the cool part is that part, you see the hole, will be, you won't see it. All you'll see is this bottom part right here, and it'll look pretty good. Here's a quick shot under the hood. I want to go ahead and focus on this master cylinder. You can actually see light through the fluid. So as you remember, the original fluid was nasty. Here's a couple pictures of the old master cylinder and a couple pictures of what was wrong with it. So you can see it was definitely leaking out of the back, and there's really no way to fix that other than replace it, sadly. So another thing that I want to show you guys is these horns. You notice these aren't C4 horns, these are actually C3 horns. The problem that I was having was the C4 ones gave up the ghost while I was repairing the steering wheel. So I was able to fix it for free by putting C3 horns in that I had laying around. So it might sound a little different, but nobody's going to notice. So as of right now, the car is in basically daily driverable shape. So it could use another paint buff. Right now it's kind of dirty, but you can see along this side the paint will shine up even better than it has. The main part that I buffed has actually been the hood, and you can see that it's hard to get on a video, but you know, the shine on the hood is definitely looking better. All the lights work. I mean, everything works on it. It's really just needs tiny little minor cosmetic things at this point. Alright, so this is the Questmo U-joint. This is the reason why I did all this work. So if you look right here, you can see there's a broken part right there, which to me, that let water and moisture in. And if you go like this, you can hear it move. So you imagine doing that, spinning super fast. I mean, it's got notches in it, steps in it, and yeah, it's just gonna make tons of noise. So let's go ahead and get this out. I want to see what it looks like. Oh, you need to lube it. You lift that up a little bit. That's perfect. Oh, right there. Boom.
Oh wow, that was fast.
Boom. That's how it's supposed to go. Ooh, it's not looking good for this one. You want to take that off? Alright, so we have... Oh, the needles fell out. You know what that means? It means it was dry as a bone. You can smell how burnt this is. You smell that? You smell that? Ooh, burnedy. So, if you look at there, you see all these needles? Oh, look at that. I don't think that's from us. I don't think that's from us hitting it, but some of these needles are broken, smoked. You look in there. You look in. Can you see in there? There's some chunks of needles in there. You can see on my hand. Oh, one went down my sleeve. You can see that chunk. So this U-joint's totally toast, totally gone, and it would make a noise like that if it's not spinning. All right, so let's check out the race. Ugh, so you can see this race how it's way different than the ones that we previously have shown you. See how it's all black and gross. So here's the suspect, the one I think is the worst one. This is where wait, there's no needles in this one. There's no needles in this one. They're all gone. You see any in there? No wonder it was making noise. Oh my gosh, I've never seen no needles.
Where would they go?
Pulverized, turned into dust, gone.
Really?
Yeah. Well, look at that. There's nothing in there. If you look at the cap, you see. Let's see. You see in this cap how there's an edge. And you see in this cap how that edge is pretty much gone? Yeah. That would make so much noise, it's not even funny. It's not even greasy in there. It's like rusty and hard. Yep. Needed to be done. That's awesome. It's exciting. So you can tell this is an original U-joint because it says Spicer on it. And it does not have any kind of grease flange on it at all. So you can tell that's an original one to the car. Being from 1985, definitely on its way out. So let's look at the races. So these are the ones that were good. If you look at that, I mean, it's not a real nice race. You can see some pitting, and you can see where it dried out and blah, blah, blah. You know, if you look at a new U-joint, you'll be able to see what a really nice race looks like. You know, they're okay. But, I mean, if you get stuff like this, I mean, look at that. It's, ugh, that's so bad. You can just see how it's getting hot and just it's all gone. This one was on its way out as well. I think the same thing. What happened to this one was going to happen to this one. Eventually, all the needles were going to blow up and disappear. And yeah, that one's okay. But yeah, definitely gross. See why it need to be done? All right, you can turn that off.